What's going on, everybody? It's another wonderful week. So happy to be back here in studio. Octavia is not with us tonight, unfortunately. So it's you guys already know it's my guy Cardell Dudley here. I'm Wilson Tarvey Jr. You are watching The Focus. We appreciate you guys taking the time to tune in this evening. As you guys, if you guys are following on social media, you already know what we got planned tonight. A lot of basketball to discuss. We got some other sports as well. With Octavia, in Octavia's absence, I'm gonna take my crack at her NFC East segment. I'm not even going to try to match the level of which she does it. I'm gonna let you know right now. I'm gonna do it with as much disdain as possible for the entire division, so nobody should feel any type of way about your specific team if you're an NFC East fan. We're just gonna get in and get out. And rapid fire. We can't end any show without rapid fire. That being said, we start the show off with some GW men's highlights. Cardell, you were there. What was it like this weekend, boss?
It was a little competition. Let's just say that Hampton came to play. Obviously, GW beat them 65-57. It was another test for the youth on GW. It's the youth movement for most people that don't know. I know they've been used to upperclassmen, past few years. But they have a freshman and two sophomores starting right now playing major minutes. And and it's moments that they play like freshmen and sophomores, which makes it tough at times. But thanks to the upperclassmen, Utah Watanabe and Patrick Steves, they were able to squeak out a 65-57 win. Grad student Patrick Steves finished with 14 points on 7 of 15 shooting, 5 rebounds and 4 assists. And sophomore point guard, one of the sophomores I was telling you about, Jair Bolden, added 13 points, 5 rebounds and 5 assists. Hampton was led by sophomore point guard Jermaine Morrow. That's the name y'all need to keep an eye on. He's deadly. He's definitely going to be one of the top players by the end of the season. He came averaging about 21-6. He finished with a game high 25 points, 4 rebounds and 4 assists on the pace down. Also, GW had a game last night before they go on the road for a Thanksgiving Day tournament. They failed a 3-1 Rider. You might want to pay attention to Rider. They getting them a lot of big wins early. They fell at them at the buzzer 67-65. Once again, Patrick Steves, who I will elaborate on as we go, continued his consistent play, finishing with the game high 19 points on 9 of 17 shooting. And senior forward Utah Watanabe, once again, nearly posted a triple-double with 16 points on 6 of 15 shooting, 13 rebounds and 6 blocks. Ryder was led by forward Frederick Scott, posted a double-double, 17 points, 10 rebounds, and guard 15, and that point guard who Adam James, who finished with 15 points and 4 rebounds. The Colonials are 2-2 on the season, and we'll take on 15th ranked Xavier Thursday evening. For those that don't know, Xavier, has a freshman who's from the area, Eleanor Roosevelt. Najee Marshall played at Hargrave last year, so that'll make area folks should tune in for that. It should be a nice little homecoming game, but it's just growth right now. But them being so young and having so many other sophomores coming off the bench and stuff, new players. Right now, you can just tell the coaches and staff just trying to gel them. But I like how they're testing them. They're not going after, too many big-time heavyweights right off the bat, but they're going against competitive teams. Like some of these teams that they're beating, I know people might they're from the MEAC, but those are teams that's going to compete for MEAC championships, who's going to have a shot to go to the tournament through winning the conference tournament. So you got to pay attention. But I want to also just give a big shout-out to Patrick Steves, man. He's been Mr. Consistent all year long. Whenever the GW's in trouble, he'll just make a few plays, whether it's not always just scoring, whether it's like going to the high post, making a right pass to get somebody going, where the defense got to focus on them. He's been playing out of his mind, and I love his consistency. He's averaging 12.8 points on 53% shooting and 5.3 rebounds a game, nearly 3 assists. 6'8", high IQ. He's their engine, man. Like, without him, they would be in a little bit of trouble because they won't have anybody to lean on. He's when Staines when other team go on the run and they start to, you could tell they start getting on their heels a little bit, he steps up. And, he's been big for them. And also had the chance to check out GW Women's. They hosted Georgetown, which, nice little crosstown rivalry. GW Women's defeated Georgetown 65-54, improving to 2-1. Freshman forward Neela Luma nearly posted a double-double, 11 points and 8 rebounds, and senior forward Brianna Cummins added 10 points and 8 rebounds. The Hoyas was led by senior forward Cynthia Petke, who finished with 14 points and 16 rebounds, and senior guard as well as all Big East preseason. You know, Deanna White had 11 points and 8 rebounds. I was impressed with their defense. You know, Georgetown came in with a lot of hype, you know, with a lot of scores. I mean, Deanna White came in averaging 25. She didn't score till almost the end of the third quarter. Like, that's how stifling their defense was.
Was it like defense by committee, or was it just one person doing a great job?
Nah, it was committee.
Help defense?
It was committee. Help defense, all that. You know, they really but then she showed why she averaged 25 a game. She got real aggressive, and she's a pro scorer. She's a little undersized, but at the same time, you can see why. But it took her a little too long to get going, and that's what, you know, held them up. But GW defense, you know, helped them get the lead, and they hit big shots down the stretch, especially from three, to kind of, you know, seal the game late. And definitely look out for true freshman Neela Galuma, who's already starting at the forward. She's a 6-foot forward. She's working on the double-double, averaging 6.3 points and 6.7 rebounds a game. I like her athleticism. I like her versatility. She's not scared in the moment. She's ready to go. And anytime a true freshman step in and getting major minutes and making a major impact, you got to watch out for them. But, you know, she's on her way. And, you know, with GW, they have to do it by committee. You know, obviously they don't have John Quill no more, who's long gone. Kyle Washington graduated, so they have to do it by committee. And if they just stay focused and keep that defensive intensity there, they got a shot at, you know, doing a lot of damage come conference play.
All right, I know they play Maryland this year, and I finally get a chance to see them up close. And you told me several times just about their defense. Just what's their playing style like under Jen Rosati?
I think it depends on the matchup.
Okay.
You know, I know they like from a game against Georgetown, they'll push it if they have it, but they execute crazy in the half court. That's how they got a lot of open threes. They force you to play defense. If you make a mistake, they will burn you because they all can pass. And from what I saw, most of them can shoot, and a lot of them aren't afraid to put the ball on the floor, make plays and stuff. What they do lack is athleticism up front. You know, they're not the, you know, quickest and, you know, highest jumping team or whatnot, but they're fundamentally sound. So where their bigs may not be the most athletic, their guards are. You know, I just gave you the freshmen, then you got Brianna and them. They will get down there and get rebounds and mix it up. Like I said, Brianna Cummins, but she had eight rebounds herself. She's a guard. So, you know, they make up for it. They do it. They playing as a team, and they do it by committee. So that's why they would be hard to beat. You know, as for your Terps, like I told you, if the Terps are already more athletic. So yeah. If they force GW in the turnover game, I can see them kind of blowing them out the door. But if GW can control the ball and don't turn it over, getting their sets, then it would be more of a game. It'd be a back and forth thing. And especially if they hit these shots, you know, hit three-pointers, whatever, it could be a game. So it's just a matter of that. It's going to be a little bit of a chess match, but it depends on who shows up and who don't.
Right. And talking about making Maryland execute in half court, and honestly, I haven't seen GW, seen a lot of Maryland. That's something they're working to get better at. Right. They're not great in half court. Last year they shot the three a lot, obviously. Having Bree down there, you throw it down, Hashatori, a bunch of shooters out there. This year's a little bit different. They're still trying to find themselves. But the one thing that they do well, they play great man-to-man defense. They get out, deflections, everybody can run. Essentially, you got a shooting guard in Kyla Charles or a wing playing the four. Stephanie Jones is another. She's a forward, but she's not a power forward. And she's playing the five. So, I mean, they're all about getting stops and running. And
that's why I'm saying at first it's going to be a little bit of a chess match because, like you said, they love to defend man-to-man, and they have the athleticism to do that. But, you know, if GW execute, they can make them work and stuff like that. And then that would slow up their transition and everything. That's how it is. But if they turn the ball over, it's going to get ugly quick.
Very, very, very quick. Quick update on Maryland. We told you guys last week they were heading after playing South Carolina. They had a camp day game against Niagara. They took care of Niagara. Started off kind of slow. The kids had a lot of energy, got the team going, and everything really started for them again. They got some stops, got out the running, and when Maryland runs, they do it very, very well. Up in Connecticut, I mean, I don't think anybody expected Maryland to go up there and beat UConn because this is a stacked UConn team. Got the number one player in the country out of high school last year, Megan Walker, coming off the bench. And not as a sixth man, but off the bench. They're loaded. You know, Katie Lou's not playing right now. They took care of Maryland 97-72. But what I did like for Maryland, they didn't quit. They played hard throughout the whole game. Kyla Charles, outside of Gabby Williams being on her, she had her way against UConn, much like she did last year. I believe she had 29 points, 12 rebounds against the best team in the country, which isn't bad. at all. Shanice Lewis, you saw the freshman kind of grow up a little bit. She handled herself pretty well. It's a work in progress for this team. They're going to be solid. They just got to find out, you got to find your identity. They know what it is, but it's about living that each and every quarter, each and every possession. And the biggest thing I take away is that they just don't quit. They played Howard tonight, and I figured, again, no disrespect to Howard, but that went as you figured it would.
As expected, yep.
As expected, 111-49. So again, you play Maryland, you turn the ball over. They get rebounds. Their bigs have the ability to push the ball. You had 6 Terps in double figures. And just going forward, December 20th, Elena Krasniaki, she gets to finally play her first game. She's a transfer from Florida. She played with the Gators last year. So yeah, she had to sit out last year.
Is she a guard for?
She's another one of those 6-foot wings.
Okay.
Thing about her, she can shoot the ball. So that's something that's going to be welcome there. Somebody can shoot the ball with some size going forward. But as always, get over to finestmag.com, get over to mymodelsports.com. We got you guys covered, GW men's and women's, Maryland's women's. We're going to take a quick break, and when we get back, we're going to talk a little NBA, a little WNBA. You're watching the Focus. And during the break, enjoy these highlights from the GW women's game. Welcome back to the Focus. Wilson here with a Cardell. So we got through college basketball already. Still got some more basketball to go. Gonna start with our weekly Wizard segment. So up and down for Washington since the last time we were here. I'm gonna let you start and I'll chime in.
I mean, they lost to the Heat. They got off to one of their sluggish starts at home, battle back. Bradley Beal went off. I think he scored 22 in the second half, had 26, and came down to the wire, but he missed the game winner. John Wall didn't have a great game. After the game, it was revealed that his knee was swollen. He had fluid in his knee that needed to be drained, which caused him to sit out the game against the Raptors, which the Raptors kind of got revenge for the earlier in the season when, they beat them without Wall. They held on. Then the Wizards came back last night and beat the Bucks convincingly, who were playing without their head coach or whatnot, but nonetheless, they got the W. They did what they had to do. Big games from Beal, who became the youngest ever in NBA history with 700 threes, 24 years, I believe. And Kelly Oubre did his thing as usual, being Mr. Consistent, who I think should be in the run of sixth man of the year. He's playing that well. So the Wizards is still the same. So basically, the last three games, they 1-2. But for the Wizards, for me, it's the same. It's the defense, man. It's the sense of urgency when you get out the gate, stepping on teams' neck as soon as the game starts. Instead of waiting for them to hit you, then you come back and try to give them a haymaker and knock them out. They're averaging 108 a game and they're holding teams to 103, which is great. Their defense has improved, but at the same time, I would like to see it become more consistent throughout the game. Not just when you get down, you have to come back and fight. That's when you want to play D. And I got a couple notes that people need to take care of. Brad Beal. Man, he's an all-star. To me, he's the best. He's emerged as the best shooting guard in the East.
This is agreed upon here.
Which makes him a top three. It depends if you consider James Harden a point or a two guard. Let's say if James Harden is a point, then what is it? It's just him and Clay battling for that top two guards while he's emerging. And he's averaging 24 a game, almost 5 rebounds, 3.4 assists on 48% shooting from the field, 37% from three, and 82% from the line. See, that's the efficiency that's separating him. And he's obviously became the Wizards' go-to scorer, where even Wall defers to him now, where Wall in the past will feel like he has to do it his Bill because he's more of a sure thing. And Kelly Oubre averaging 11.2 points, 5.5 rebounds off the bench on 41% shooting from three and 78% shooting from the line. Like his improvement over the summer in just a few months, I mean, that should be the poster child for when coaches want to be like, man, you just work during the summer, you'll get better. Because he's still bringing the defense, where he's added another dimension to the Wizards, especially coming off the bench. He's a weapon. He's really a sixth starter, which is essentially what a sixth man is, but he's deadly. And I also got another note for the people who want to criticize their bench. The bench is averaging 41 points a game. I just said they average 108. What more do you want the bench to do? You know what I'm saying? Like,
we've been trying to scream this all year long, too.
They're averaging 41 a game. They're doing their job. Truthfully, when the Wizards have lost games, it's the starter's fault, and I got Wall, my guy, but I got to get it on. I got to keep it real. It's Wall. He got to play better. He got to be more efficient. Got to play smarter. If Wall was playing at the level he did last year, the Wizards are fighting with the Celtics for the top record in the East right now. There's no question. So if he turning on, become more efficient, play a little bit smarter, cut down the turnovers, play more consistent defense, then the Wizards are on their way. Because they're in the mix with Cleveland and the Celtics. But it don't mean nothing, believing it. You got to show it. And they have to be more consistent, and that's just the bottom line.
I mean, I agree with you. You already know pretty much every point that you made. Consistency is everything for them. Mm-hmm. Like, we've seen in glimpses when they do play defense, they look like one of the top teams in the Eastern Conference. They look like one of the better teams in the league when they play defense. And it's about doing it consistently, and especially at the start of games. Mm-hmm. Almost, what are we at, like 16, 17 games so far this year? Mm-hmm. We're not yet at 20.
17,
So 17, I'm just going to throw this out there, and I'm sure I could go back and look, but at least 10 of those games, slow starts. And I'm not talking about offensively. I know people hear slow starts, you talk about offensively. I'm talking about defensively. Because when that team plays with energy defensively, they're a totally different team. You know, that stat you brought out several times this year. They're one of the better teams in the league when they play defense. And for them to make that jump from being a good team, or you know how sometimes there's teams in the league where people are like, oh, well, they're going to make the jump, but there's always something about that team and they never quite make it. Washington's kind of in that funny place. It's about, for them, it's consistently playing defense at a high level. And that's going to get them to that next level. Offensively, they don't have anything to worry about. We've seen on bad nights, you know, especially the last home game in Miami, you got 29, 30 points at the half, and you score, 60, 70 points the second half, no problem. You know, you went the whole half without making a three. But if you had played defense the whole time, Miami doesn't have 50. Miami's a team that doesn't score very easily. If you were locked in defensively, that's a totally different game, even with the bad shooting. You know, we've seen other teams in the league make those big time turnarounds after starting slow offensively. But the way that, you know, and nobody talks about how they get through it, is because they keep playing defense. Keep playing defense, the tide's going to turn. You're going to start to hit shots. You got talented players, it's going to happen. Starts on that end of the floor.
Right, and like you said, the stat, I think they're 52-8 over the last 3 years when they hold teams under 100. They beat the Bucks last night. They held them to 88. I think Toronto got over 100 on them. They lost. The Heat, same thing. It's them. They're beating themselves, and that's the frustrating. If they weren't that good, it's nothing to get. They just ain't that good.
Exactly.
But this is the deepest team, especially for Wall and Bill. This is the deepest Wizards team since the arenas in the era. You know, like it's no excuse. Y'all really can rumble with Cleveland and Boston, and even if y'all win, a little bit of people may be shocked, but it's not surprising if y'all do come out the East. But I got to play defense, man, because right now, Celtics, you see the Celtics, young boys, they not playing. They smacking, man. They not playing.
Did the Dallas game last night?
That's what I'm saying.
Literally, they down 4. Oh no, they're down 6. I'm sorry. Dallas never got a good shot the rest of the game, and even in overtime, some of the shots that Harrison hit, they were highly contested. But again, taking highly contested shots, that works to the Celtics' favor. Meanwhile, Kyrie's getting layups. Defense goes a long way, and that's literally all Washington needs to do. Offensively, they don't have any.
And it feeds their offense.
Yes.
What do Wall do best? Transition, man.
And that's almost all of them.
Exactly.
Beal, you know, those big athletic guards get rebounds. Who's going to stop them going to the other end?
You got.
Getting back.
Come on, man. You got. Bill, he sprint, he could dunk or shoot the three. Same with Kelly. He loved the body dudes. You know, Porter, he 3-point, he could finish too. Wall, can't nobody stop him on transition, man. They try. I seen him dribble through 4 dudes and lay it up or dunk. Left-handed, you know, he loved to dunk the left hand. You know what I'm saying? Like, that should fire you up. Like, I'm trying to get D, you know what I'm saying? Come on, man. So, you know, as long as they play consistent D, they among the best. When they on that, I call it too cool for school vibe, man, then they mediocre. It's as simple as that. So
I know what they can't do. Tomorrow night, they're playing in Charlotte
Kemba.
before the break.
Kemba.
I know nobody watches the Hornets outside of me. These are facts. Just throw that out there. But Kemba's like 2 games removed from 47-point outbursts. Dwight had 20 and 25 last night.
The Wolves.
Just one, and that's the Timberwolves. That's against Young Cat, you know. Just want to throw that out there. And Charlotte's obviously not where they want to be at, but the one thing they do, they play hard all game. For a team of Washington, we talk about with that too cool for school attitude sometimes. These next 2 games, you can't be lackadaisical coming out the gate defensively. Kemba get going, it's hard to turn that off.
Oh, no doubt.
Okay, and even his partner in crime, Jeremy Lamb from the UConn days, he's averaging 17 this year. So, you know, that's different now because usually it's just Kemba.
Exactly. And then at the same time, it's a little rivalry, as you can see, with them and Boston. If you meet Boston in the playoffs, and I'm going to give Marcus Smart some love, man. He should be in Defensive Player of the Year conversations.
Really?
That dude's crazy on defense, on ball, help side. I mean, that's what's messing a lot of teams up. It's him. He's everywhere, and he's embracing his role as the go-to defender for that team, one of them at least, you know what I'm saying, because he's not the only one that played D.
Like 5.
And like you said, the Wizards got a couple tough matchups coming up. Like you guys say, Kemba and Lamb, and then you got the Mama's boys coming, you know, Dame and CJ.
Saturday at home.
They don't defend, it's going to be a wrap because they both can go off for 30, and that's a hard pill to swallow.
They both can go off for 40 if you don't defend.
And so, and then I'm looking at, you got to look around the East. Philly growing up so quick. Ben Simmons and Embiid, oh, man.
I try to tell you how they coming, but they're ahead of our schedule. I'm going to say that. Almost right now because I thought, like, we were talking about this. We talk about this.
They scared me off the break. I don't think, because I watched Ben since high school, and I know he's a cerebral player. He don't always rely on athleticism. If he played like that, then I'll agree with you.
Right.
But he's a highly intelligent dude. That's why when they put him at point, a lot of people was critical. Like, Markelle need to play. I'm like, he gonna make Markelle's job so easy and allow Markelle to do what he do best, score and make plays.
It's so easy though.
But he's a true point guard. He's just 6'10". And I don't believe in boxing players in. Like, your game is your game. It don't matter your size.
And shout out to Brett Brown for letting his young players, all of them, be who they are.
Exactly.
Because a year ago, you remember some people were down on Timothy. I always remember mess up his name, Luwawu Carabo.
Yeah.
He's a solid player.
And Robert Covington, salute to him.
That's a dude. This is where teams mess up. Like, a lot of these teams out here are looking for people like Cov. He's been sitting there. 6'10" wing, guard multiple positions, got a clip from beyond the arc. He's in Philly. And shout out to Philly for making sure they didn't lose him.
And nothing but more props to him for working on his game and getting better and better and better, coming from the D League, undrafted D League, working his way up, not crying, just embracing his role, getting better and better. Yeah, and now he's a third option. And then if Markelle becomes what he is, that makes that team in the future, if they stay healthy, and Reddick being a veteran, teaching them the game, if they develop into what they are a problem for everybody, man. Like, I don't think people understand how scary they are. Embiid and Simmons already hell. So if Markelle become what he should, then Sark is still there averaging the double-double. It's scary, man.
Like, the spacing's already jacked up right now, and the second most dangerous shooter on the floor at times is the center.
Yeah, when he trailing the press break, Simmons just like, here you go.
Like, and I told you, like, I'm still geeking off when they play the Lakers. I know it's the Lakers, but you got the center throwing a repost pass to the point guard on the low block, kicking it back out to the center for the three. Like, this is only going to get more crazy.
But it might be the Lakers. But he did against Brook Lopez, who's a very good center.
Yeah.
And he destroyed him. Yeah. And it's like he's just really, he haven't even played, these guys haven't even played a full year yet, and look at the damage they're doing. And by now the scouting report has caught up. They trying to stop these dudes, and they can't do it. It's serious problems, man. Like KD said, Ben's special, man. You haven't really seen nothing like him. I know people throwing out Lamar Odom, but I think he's more of a beast than Lamar Odom. I'm not gonna say Magic yet, because Magic more of a passer, but he's not the athlete that Ben is, but he's a special blend, man.
And that's the thing. Think about that. We're talking about two really special 6'9", 6'10" guys already in a conversation with him. Yet they both don't quite define what he is. Like, we don't know what to define him as, other than he's the first Ben Simmons, and that's it. Real quick, WNBA news. We meant to bring this up last week, but the WNBA lottery was on November 13th. So in the order, I'm just gonna run through the order of the first round. Las Vegas. You guys don't know at all, for those that don't cover the WNBA even a little bit. Las Vegas, that team is yet to have a name, but the Las Vegas team, the head coach is Bill Laimbeer, has the first overall pick. Indiana Fever have the second. Chicago picks back-to-back. And the reason being, they have the Atlanta Dreams pick after flipping, after the trade that moved Amani Boyette from Chicago to Atlanta mid-season. So they picked 3 and 4, which is great for a team that's trying to, I know some want to say rebuild, but that's not a bad way to retool. Seattle's at 5. Depending on what you get there, you add that to that mix of Sue, Stewie, Jewel Lloyd. Dallas is at 6. Washington at 7. Phoenix at 8. Connecticut at 9. The Liberty for now, because I'm just saying for now, we've heard all the rumors about them being up for sale. They're at 10. LA Sparks at 11, and the Lynx at 12. And that's pretty much the first round. Some of the names to be thrown around, we're going to talk about this more, obviously, as the year goes on. But Kelsey Mitchell, Diamond DeShields, Asia Wilson, Gabby Williams, Asia Durr, who's already had a 47-point game, Monique Billings. So it's going to be fun. And what we saw last year was some juniors in the women's game come out, which is not usually the typical thing. Usually we see 4-year players. And that was from South Carolina last year, where a couple players came out. I believe it's Alicia Gray and Kyla Davis. But it's going to be interesting to see how that goes, man. NFC East segment. I'm going to knock this out real quick. We're going to take a quick break and then rapid fire. So I'm obviously not Octavia. We're not going to do any fly Eagles fly thing here. But this is what happened in the division last week. The Eagles destroyed the Cowboys 37-9. Y'all need to just pray for Dak Prescott behind that line. He's going through some things at the moment. And the Eagles they're not slowing down. They're not slowing down one bit. The Redskins, I was flipping the channel. They were up 31-16. Started doing something else, came back. Found out they lost courtesy of Twitter. That was a hurtful loss for them in their playoff chase. They gave up 18 points in the fourth quarter. We can't do that. The controversial intentional grounding call, which definitely hurt, but still, even before that, you were in field goal range. I mean, you had every opportunity to take care of business in this game, and you didn't. The Giants beat the Chiefs. How about that? The week after losing to the lowly San Francisco 49ers. They beat one of the better teams in the West. And that game went to overtime as well. So the Giants take on the Redskins on Turkey Day. We got the Cowboys taking on the Chargers. And then the Eagles play the Bears on Sunday. So I don't know where the Eagles streak is going to stop. The Skins can't afford to lose to the Giants at all. Might be the kiss of death on the season. And the Cowboys and the Chargers, two struggling teams at the moment. So we'll see how that goes. But we're going to take a quick break. When we get back, it's rapid fire. Welcome back. And thank you guys again for tuning in, man. We hope you guys have a happy holidays this week. And as always, we appreciate the continued support here at The Focus, over at Founders Magazine, and at My Model Sports. That being said, rapid fire time. What you got for us today, man?
I got a few things, man. I got some things, as usual, I need my answers, man. I need some help. So,
and Octavia, you left me alone for this.
She ducking that wreck, man. Let me chill, man, before she get to talking about her either. All right, but the first question: who's in front for NBA MVP right now? James Harden. The Rockets are 13-4. He's averaging 31.6 points a game, 9.9 assists, 4.8 rebounds. Or Kyrie Irving. Celtics are NBA best 16-2. He's averaging 22 points a game, 5.3 assists, and 3.2 rebounds. Who's your vote? Who would you say is out in front right now?
It's no question right now. I think it's laughable. And again, I like what Kyrie's doing with Boston. I like what Boston's doing it as a team. But it's James right now. James is the front runner. If this streak continues, I mean, maybe you can have a discussion. But James is leading like 4 or 5 statistical categories right now. I believe he got the best record in the West. It's James Harden for me.
Okay, I'm torn, but I like winning. So Kyrie has a edge.
Okay.
Because I believe with their new team, they lost so much, and just adding him with his leadership, which was questioned after he left Cleveland. James was already comfortable. All they did was just add really CP3 to the mix, and he's been out. That's why he's in the mix. But with Kyrie just coming to that new situation, losing Gordon Hayward, they had every reason to kind of just fall off a little bit. And he's actually leading. And when I mean leading, he's not forcing himself on the game with the improvement of Jason Tatum, a rookie, with what he's showing, and then the improvement of Jaylen Brown and guys like that. He's allowing them to flourish where he could be like, nah, I'm Kyrie, I need to do this. He sometimes he plays off them. I got to respect that because that's what's the main question is for right now. Now, at the end of the season, we'll be like this. No, we don't know. You know what I'm saying? But, winning Q right now, if the playoffs started, they had the home court throughout the league, so everything coming through them. So,
Right.
I can't knock. I gotta give them his props.
I definitely respect it. Like, and by no means, I definitely respect.
Oh no, that's why it's so tough. It's
like I can't get mad at you for taking Kyrie.
I know I can't get mad at Harden either.
Like,
that's why.
I just can't. So.
I vowed never to put this dude on the show, but it's a basketball related thing.
Okay.
LeVar Ball came out. He criticized the Lakers coaching staff. He said they're soft. They don't know how to coach my son. I know how to coach him. He's been away from me too long. I see tendencies in his game. They're trying to baby him a little bit. What are your thoughts,
man? Look, you're not employed by any NBA team, correct?
Yep.
If the Lakers felt like you would truly help in any capacity, I believe they'd bring you on their staff. They have not reached out to any of our knowledge. Your son needs to go through this. Right now, this might be the best thing for him. He needs to earn his minutes. And Judith, I know people get excited about some of the triple-doubles he's had, and those were good games, but I believe the most recent triple-double he had, I believe being benched played a big role in that. I think sometimes, we heard Luke talking about how important it is for his guards to come down to kind of help with the rebound, like sandwich rebounding, when they were here in Washington last. And the couple games prior to that triple-double, Lonzo wasn't coming down as much. And with you at 6'6", the reason I'm just taking a wild guess here. The reason Luke would like you to come down, help on the glass, you get out in transition that much quicker. If you're coming over the back and getting a rebound, you already past the bigs. And especially like offensively where you're struggling, you have to do the little things to earn your minutes.
Right.
And this is good. It needs to be earned, so I have no issue with it. LeVar just needs to sit down and let this process play out.
Well, here's some facts for you. Let me look at Luke Walton. Head coach. He has a couple championships. He won a few championships with the Lakers in the early 2000s. All right, that's the head coach. Then the assistant coach, I'm looking at Brian Shaw. He has 5. He won 3 as a player and 2 as an assistant coach in 09 and 10. All right, you know what I'm saying? Jesse Merman's another assistant coach.
He champion too?
Years on a G League coaching, developing players like Norman Powell for Toronto and all that, coaching down at the G League level, all that, graduated University of Arizona, you know what I'm saying? Handled Wildcats operations for years. Brian Keefe, another one, you know what I'm saying? In his 13th season, 9th as an assistant coach. He countless Oklahoma City Knicks, prior, lots of experience, man. Mark Madsen, you might remember him. He won a couple championships as well with the Lakers, with the Shaq and Kobe and Lakers and whatnot. Hustle guy, everybody know about him. Jared Bushler, he won 3 rings with the Bulls, man. I'm just saying. I'm looking, the lowest on the totem pole, Miles Simon, the new coach, legend from Arizona. USA, yeah. I think they know what they're doing, man.
That sounds like a pretty darn
and we gotta you question the coach, and one of these dudes got more experience in like in a month that you have in your whole life. We gotta learn to just give respect where it's due in society, period, because it's too much people if you evaluate their resume and credibility they have now, going at people with it. Mm-hmm. It makes no sense. If you were so good, why is your son so off shooting? If you knew what you was doing so much. So, and then at the end of the day, it's a team sport. It's about the Lakers becoming better as a team so they can start winning games. It's not about your son shining so you could sell shoes and all that. He tried playing them in the full quarter. They was getting destroyed. So he had to sit them. Then they got momentum. You need to relax, because right now the best rookie on the team is a guy that would almost fell to the second round. And that says a lot. So it's just about being humble, but to call out the coaching staff is just, it's him. You know what I'm saying? How obnoxious and arrogant he could be, but it is what it is. Moving on. A big bombshell in college hoops today. Potential number 1 pick out of Missouri, Michael Porter Jr. will undergo surgery in Dallas, Texas. The procedure, a microdiscectomy of the L3, L4 spinal disc, has a projected recovery time of 3 to 4 months and will likely cause him to miss the remainder of the season. My question to you is, will this hurt his chances of being taken, number 1? And 2, should we reevaluate the AAU schedule?
Okay, so the second question, yes. Kids need rest. They're not getting enough of it. Mm-hmm. 2, per Jeff Goodman, just tweeted, multiple NBA GMs have told me, as long as Michael Porter Jr.'s back checks out come June, he's still likely a top 5 overall pick. Talent is talent. It's just about health. No, I don't think this changes draft stock in the least bit. Obviously, they'd love for him to get through this college season. That would be a bonus, but it's not like NBA GMs haven't had their eyes on Michael Porter prior to his freshman year of college. Again, it's one of those cases where you're at college because you have to go. No, I don't think it's going to change his draft stock significantly at all. The only way it changes is if the back really isn't okay. Outside of that, no, I'm fine.
And, nah, he's still going to get drafted. It's just, will he be taking number one? I think it might hurt him a number one pick because, especially if Ayton and Bamba and those guys, and Bagley, they do what they're supposed to do. It will hurt because of that, the risk. Because he was banged up late in his high school career too. Came into the season banged up, you know what I'm saying? He set out a little bit during the summer, so it's obviously been something that's, lingering for a while. You know, he finally just got to get it fixed, and you know what I'm saying? But like you said, that, as you know, getting groomed to be an NBA scout, the number one thing they emphasize is that medical report. Your medical report, they not even going to look at your game. It's like we got to move on because it's too much of a risk. You know, we sign you, we locked in for X amount of dollars from X amount of years, and then you get hurt, can't play anymore. You know what I mean? It sets us back, so, but if he, like I said, if he check out fine, he definitely going to be a top 5 pick because it's just too much potential, and he is that nasty. Don't get it twisted. Man. But as for the AAU thing, they got to, I think, I'm not going to blame the shoe company and all them. They just putting people out. You don't have to necessarily play in it. So I'm looking more so the coaches and the parents, and this not attack on AAU, calm down, but something got to give because, like I said, it's a thing called AAU bodies now where kids are coming in, even the one that does, they coming in and they getting physicals and they're saying they have the wear and tear of a 5-year vet already and they ain't even played the NBA game. That's sad. That's not cool. And I don't. The results speak for it. Look at a lot of the top picks over the last few years. They already hurt before they play a game. Then they had to work their way back to get on the floor. And we looking at 2 of them who turned out to be special with Philly, you know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, that's my point. So, and the GM who actually drafted him, not Simmons, but the one who drafted him ain't there no more. That's how it usually goes. You don't get to stick around to see him flourish. But, I mean, they got to reevaluate something, but it's more on the parents and stuff like that. Like, fine, you went, you did what you had to do with your respective team on the circuit, played a couple camps, went at the top dogs, you did your thing. All right, we're going to shut this down and rest. We don't need to keep doing.
That's your livelihood. If that's what you want to do, that's your livelihood.
Exactly. The rankings don't really mean nothing. No. You can move us down. Who cares? We're going to go to college if we have to. I'm here. They talking about allowing you to come back out of high school. So if you come out of high school, we evaluated them. But it's not, you got to preserve your body. We're not Terminators. We can't just keep going, man. It don't work like that. And, so, hopefully he recovers and, be ready for the league next year.
That's one of my favorites going in next year, too.
Oh, he's tough. He's real tough, man. But DeMarcus Cousins was ejected for elbowing Russell Westbrook in the head. Was it legit, or did Russ flop?
Nah, he hit him square in Russell's big shoulder. It landed just like someone trying to hit Floyd. It landed square on the shoulder, and then he flopped. There was some acting afterwards. I forgot what Pelicans player said it, but it was pretty much off of Boogie's reputation that I feel that call went from just a common foul to being ejected. He didn't deserve to be ejected. You teach post players when you're 5, you got little gnats underneath, them little guards swiping at you, elbows high. If he connected with him, we would have saw it.
Right.
So.
I mean, yeah, it was definitely a flop, man. Come on, Russ, one of the toughest dudes in the league. He might as well think. He looked like he got shot. He went to the floor. He pulled a Reggie Miller. But at the end of the day, it won. It hurt the team. Well, they came back and won, but I think so. But it hurt the team for that moment. Yeah. So, you do what you can. That's part of the game. But, yeah, DeMarcus Cousins, if he really wanted to swing that elbow, it would have been ugly. It'd have been some bloodshed out there, you know what I'm saying? But they can't keep targeting DeMarcus Cousins. I understand his history, but you got to be neutral when you're making those calls. The refs' credibility start being in question, and then we got a whole new ball game. So, but, he'll bounce back. Kevin Garnett says Bucks Thon Maker will be MVP one day. Do you agree?
I actually meant to call you when I read that on Twitter, and I forgot. I got busy with something else. I don't know. The one thing, I like Thon as a player, and we've talked about this before. I don't know if he's going to do that at center. Mm-hmm. It's possible because we don't know. We're not in the gym with Thon and Giannis, but I highly doubt that it's going to be at center. But if KG's willing to put his stamp on you, I'll sit back and wait. But I don't know. I'm in the wait and see approach after hearing that.
Yeah, I'm not gonna go that far. His potential is crazy.
Yeah.
But he's been in the league for 2-3 years, and it hasn't really been much of an improvement. I think what KG's seeing is a lot of himself. You know what I'm saying? Skinny, multi-talented, big, and maybe that's what he's hoping for. You know what I'm saying? But I need to see a dramatic step before we even start saying MVP. That's hard. We just mentioned two dudes and the seasons that happened. He's nowhere close to that. So, hell, he's not even close. He's not even MVP of his team, let alone the league. So he got a long way to go. Just keep working, and hopefully he'll get close. He'll be in that mix one day. Maryland men's are 5-0. Georgetown men's 3-0. Which team are you more impressed with?
I guess I'm going to say Georgetown just because everybody was acting brand new, like Pat was going to fall on his face after being around basketball for almost his entire life, where we heard he wasn't going to be good at recruiting, he wasn't going to do this, he doesn't know how to do that. That's all I heard from that side of it. So that's probably where I'm going to lean towards, purely off of that. That's what we heard almost every hour on the hour when he got the job over the summer. So
I'm gonna side more with Maryland.
Okay.
I'm happy for Big Pat because I feel like he should have got an opportunity with the NBA.
Yes.
Be a head coach. That was some nonsense, but we ain't gonna get into that, and maybe at a later time. I feel like it's Maryland because they beat more teams, but obviously stiffer competition. No disrespect to Maryland East and Shore, they're not on the caliber of Georgetown, would never will be. So they should beat the heck out of them, but it's still. It's still a good start, and I like the way Maryland young guns are stepping up. Like Anthony Cowens, man, he's playing all Big Ten ball right now. He's doing it all. Deion Wiley's showing signs he's made an improvement. Where
he's healthy.
He's healthy and all that. And I like the freshman Daryl Morzell out of Mount St. Joe's, out of Baltimore. The freshman, he just got Big Ten Freshman of the Week. So. He's already making an impact, and this without Justin Jackson really going off, who's projected to be not a lottery pick, but a pick in the upcoming draft if he turns it on. So they're gonna be tested with Octavia coming up. So I'm looking forward to seeing what happens.
All right, last question of the night.
Oh man, which wing has improved most in your eyes? Will Barton from the Nuggets, Kelly Oubre from the Wizards, or Jaylen Brown from the Celtics?
Oh, man, that's tough. That's a horrible question.
Exactly.
Horrible that you're going to make me choose. I love everything Kelly's done. Everything Kelly's done. I love everything Will done. In that order, I'm probably going to go Jalen, Kelly, Will. And I'm giving Jalen like the slightest edge. But again, I'm still something from you earlier for the winning. The role that you have to play, and I'm not knocking Kelly's role, but Gordon Hayward goes down. That's a big, you got to fill that gap somehow between you and Tatum, and they can't win without him playing at a high level. They can't win without Jalen playing at a high level. Like he impacts the game so much for them. So I'm going Jalen, Kelly, Will.
I'm probably gonna go Jalen too. I don't know why they act like he wasn't the third pick just a couple years ago, and for me, there was no doubt he would be this, because definitely just seeing him when I saw him at high school hoop hall and what he could do, I was like, man, he's a man child, 6'7", like 230. He's a man child. What stopped him last year was just a jumper.
Yeah.
Now he can shoot.
Man.
So. I mean, he's another added dimension where if they had Gordon Hayward, it's like, man, it's problem.
Can you imagine the type of lineups you can throw out with all three of them special wings on the floor?
Yeah, and he straps, he shoots, he's not scared in the moment. He's being efficient, he could pass. He's a multi-dimensional guard. And I love, and he truth be told, he was on it during summer league. Like you can see it then, but naturally his guys is not gonna be in the league, so you don't take it too serious, but I love what he's doing, the improvement. And to me, he's honestly probably the biggest reason why the Celtics are where they are now, with their record. And just another note for the people saying Markel's a bust. His first game was against the improved Jaylen Brown. He gave him some numbers. I think you know, when he get back, it's gonna be even more problems. So just for the people who want to throw out there that he's a bust and ain't even really played yet.
Just the last of the bust thing, man. Just like we don't need to be calling Markel a bust. You don't need to be calling Lonzo a bust. We need to relax. Like let some time go by.
Like
and I know Lonzo got the hype coming with it, so I understand some people's disdain for his dad going at the kid. It's separate for me. Like separate the kid from the dad. I know the dad comes with the theatrics and it's a family thing, but the kid's just trying to hoop and trying to find his way in the NBA. And he seemed like a good kid. Like I told you, I was taken back during the the post game session when he was talking after the game with the Wizards. Just kid got a good head on his shoulders.
Oh yeah, he's very smart. He's a different animal. And that's what made me fall in love with him. Like in high school, like he's not your typical hooper.
No.
Like he's an outside the box. He's kind of he's a genius. Like I think in high school he was like 4.0 plus. Like he went to Cal because he wanted to study something unique or whatever. Like he's a different type of dude, and that's what makes him great. And I think that's what's gonna make him great.
We just gotta wait. Like just be patient. Just be patient. A lot of rookies go through this. Every rookie doesn't come out averaging 20 initially out the box. People like this microwave society. We gotta chill sometimes. Everybody's ready to go crazy.
But it's like that with basketball too. Because I tell people like every level you move up in basketball, it was hard. Like coming from the high school AAU level, you go to college. It took me a minute like to learn the system and adapt my game. What you think gonna happen with the pros and these guys already the elite of the elite?
We're 18 games in.
That's
not
my
30,
point.
We're not 40. Everybody relax. But I want to thank you guys for tuning in. Cardell, thanks for some great questions and rapid fire. Hope you guys enjoyed. All of you guys have a happy Thanksgiving. We'll see you guys next week. Same time, same place. Gonna have a lot more for you guys because we'll be busy this weekend.